I've
Can you hear
already
me?
seen
Yeah.
several Power Rangers in the crowd today. How you guys feeling? Thank you for being our first panel of the day.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. We've had fun the last couple of days in
Yeah.
Scotland.
It's really, the weather's been nice. Yesterday was beautiful.
It was beautiful. It was
Except
a little
for the wind.
windy,
Yeah.
Yes.
but it was beautiful.
Have you had a chance to see some of Scotland while you've been here, or are you planning to?
We did.
Good.
So we went to the bridge.
The Brig o' Belwani? Something like that?
Yeah. And then we went to
Old Slains Castle.
Old Slains Castle, which was awesome.
What was
And
the
then
other?
the day before, I went to
I don't know.
Old Stony, the other castle on the water.
To the south.
They're yelling about
Yes, that was fun and beautiful. And I went all by myself.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it was great. Then we ate at a Mexican restaurant.
That's
we ate
random.
Dos Amigos.
Dos Amigos,
in
right
Aberdeen.
there.
It
That was
wasn't
pretty
really
fun.
Mexican food, but close.
You know
Yeah.
what's funny is
It's good.
I have found that Scotland's Mexican food is much better than England's Mexican food. It's
Really?
weird. Yeah, yeah. And
Oh,
being an American, we
interesting.
grew up on it, right? Tex-Mex. But do you guys have a chance to see things when you do travel? I mean, this is obviously not your first rodeo. You travel a lot. Do you make a chance to actually see things and soak up the culture when you're at
I
Comic-Con?
do. I try.
I definitely try as well. It's not always easy because we do travel a lot, and internationally it is a big commitment because you have to take so much, at least for me, I have to take so much time out of the week. You know, it's got to be
Yeah.
here for a week to really enjoy it.
Yeah, I always try to go like a few days before, a few days after. Like I did Belgium Comic-Con last summer. No, last fall. And I brought my daughter and we went to Paris. And so, but then sometimes you do a Comic-Con and I don't know, I'm not going to name any places, but like you kind of just go to do the Comic-Con.
Yeah, but it's nice to make time when you can to actually see some things. Now,
Right?
speaking
It's
of
a great
seeing
way
things,
to see the world.
there's so much to see here, and we have so many genres here that are represented. We've got, and I'm looking in the crowd, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy represented. We've got Star Wars. Hi, guys.
We got Rita Repulsa.
We do. What
And
genres?
Billy right next to her.
Billy.
Yes, right there. Round of applause for our cosplayers, by the way.
I love it.
And just so you know, guys, the Cosplay Masquerade is going to be on this stage later today, so do not miss that one. There's so much amazing cosplay that comes to Aberdeen, so much passion and effort that goes into cosplaying. But what genre are you guys fans of? Whether
I
it
see
be-
Waldo.
There he is. Found him. I think over here you call him Wally.
such
Is
a
that
good-
right? They call him Wally.
Oh, I got to take a photo of all that. I can find Waldo, right?
What do they call him here?
Wally.
Wally. Not
Wally.
Waldo. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know why they've changed it for us, or they've changed it, or we've changed it. I don't know. But there he is. We found him. Yay! But what are you guys fans of in terms of what you see at Comic-Con? Star Wars, sci-fi, Harry Potter, fantasy.
I was just in the elevator with the Charmed ladies, and I was a little bit beside myself. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like Star Wars. I'm a huge Darth Vader fan.
Yeah.
So I grew up watching the very first film, and so since I was 7 years old, I've been hooked on Star Wars. So I always get excited when I see the 501st walking around and all the stormtroopers and Darth Vader and all that.
Have you met any of the Star Wars cast? I'm sure you have.
Yeah, I mean, I got to meet David Prowse before, who played Darth Vader, obviously, and yeah, I mean, that's always a huge benefit for us to get to come to Comic-Cons, and we get to meet some of the celebrities
Ralph
that
Macchio, that was like the
Ooh.
highlight.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good one. Henry Winkler,
Henry Winkler.
That's
oh,
huge.
he's such a sweet
he's
man.
super
too,
nice,
right?
yeah. So
that's fun.
there's a lot of benefits for us.
It's fun for us as fans to think of you guys, celebrities meeting celebrities. Who else have you met that made you a little starstruck?
Remember when we met William Shatner and we took a photo with William
We
Shatner?
did, he was so sweet too.
Yeah, he was super nice, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Super nice, super nice. Well, obviously, we have a lot of cosplayers, as I mentioned. What is it like to meet someone that's cosplaying as your character?
Oh, I mean, I love it. I, especially love when Chris Tinnery comes up in the Pink Ranger costume. I think that's my fave. I don't know. You know what? Having done this show, what was it, 30 years ago?
In theory, 32 for us.
32 years ago. Honestly, had no idea at that time the impact it would have on so many people. And I got into doing conventions almost 10 years ago. I'm not sure how long you've been doing them. And I had no idea in the in-between there how much it had impacted kids and who are now adults, like all of you, and until I started doing conventions, and then have heard so many beautiful stories and just kind of like really appreciate the longevity of the first acting gig we both really ever had, right? I didn't even have an agent.
Successful. Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
it's been a wild ride.
It's really cool for me to have somebody dress up as Billy and go through the torture of wearing overalls that I went through.
But you look adorable.
You look adorable. But I mean, I wore overalls for almost 60 episodes, and I don't ever want to.
And you looked adorable.
But I don't ever want to wear overalls again. So it's very humbling, and obviously it's really appreciative. And then when people go to the distance to create a Rita Repulsa outfit like that, just like how much
I hope
time.
you win. You should win.
For
sure.
How much time and effort people put into it is really humbling.
Yeah.
sure.
If I was judging, you would win.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at the crowd, some of you guys look great. You look incredible.
Yeah. Overall, it's a good look. See what I did there? Overall.
And Waldo.
Overall.
Yeah. Do you guys call them overalls here or no? What do you call them here? Dungarees.
My bad. So thank you for wearing
I'm trying
dungarees.
to translate. I've lived in the UK for a while, and I'm still like, wait, they don't call them overalls. But yeah, overall, it's a good look. You do look amazing. Our cosplayers are tremendous. And again, here they're going to be on the main stage later today as well. But what did bring you to the role? Because you were mentioning, it wasn't your first acting role, David. What brought you to Power Rangers?
Me? Oh, I'm sorry.
You really?
It was like our first legitimate acting role, I guess we should say. So, I had just moved to Los Angeles to be an actor, like so many people, and I just opened up something called LA Casting, or Backstage West is what it was. I apologize. And they had all the open casting calls in the city, and so I just saw an open casting call for a show called Phantoms, and I submitted my picture, and they called me, and it just kind of went from there. So I had 8 auditions at the end of the day. It took me a long time, more than most people.
It was about 8 auditions. It was my first role as well. One of my first auditions, I had been taking a commercial workshop class with a casting director named Katie Wallens, and I actually had just quit and decided I was moving back home. I had only been in Los Angeles for about 6 months, and when I got home, Katie Wallens, also an acting coach that I had met the night before I left, had reached out to my parents and was like, you need to come back. And then I go back, and that week, Katie Wallens was like, you need to come in here and audition, because I was a gymnast. And so I went and auditioned, and I think we went through 8 auditions. And we were paired up together right away with Walter, and from what I remember, yeah. And then I got my first gig, and honestly, it was like, okay. And we didn't realize the show was going to be popular until an entire year after that, because we shot the pilot, and then we got picked up, and then we shot, 50 episodes. We would shoot like 2 episodes a week or something. And then the show came out that September, and then it was like right before Christmas that it was just like this big phenomenon, and nobody knew it was going to be that big except for maybe Haim Savan. And then there you go, and it was non-union.
That's crazy.
It was
right?
wild. It was really, really wild.
Yeah, and you mentioned the popularity of the show. Obviously, it spans generations. It's global. Everyone still loves it. But me as a kid, I remember all of the merchandise, right? Like in school, everyone had the backpacks, and Halloween, everyone wanted to be a Power Ranger. When did you realize it was a huge deal? Like, was there a moment when you went, "This is a big deal. We're onto something huge here"?
I think there was a few moments. For me, it was sitting on the bus or whatever we were driving in to go to do our Universal Amphitheater show, and we were stuck in the same traffic of all the people trying to get off the 101 to go to the show. And then we ended up having 4 shows that day or something like that.
7 almost.
7 shows in a giant amphitheater that had like 3,000 people or something.
6,000.
The whole thing gave me nightmares. So that was sort of like, oh, this has become quite popular. I think more so for me, I don't know, it's been in the last 10 years that I did actually understand how popular it really was. And I think it's been really fun in the last couple of years to revisit the franchise in a different way than just Comic-Cons through David doing Once and Always, and then you just did the last season of Power Rangers, and then I'm doing my comic book, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers: The Return. I don't know if you know, but it's like out now. 2 issues are out. The 3rd issue is coming out. So I don't know if you want to talk about that, but just like coming back in a different way for me as a writer, for you as an actor in your 40s. But it's been really, I think, almost like a love letter in a lot of ways, the comic book for me. I don't know, what was your experience going back to the franchise and going back to the show, especially with what you went through when you were on the show?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a lot of fun for Walter and I to get to go back to and do Once and Always. Hopefully you all watched it and that you enjoyed it. I hear mostly good things. There's a few people that didn't like it, but it's okay.
There's always those.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was a lot of fun because Walter, you know, we started the franchise 30 some years ago, and so it was fun to go back and reprise our roles and see where they've come in their life and have them in a different light. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I guess going back a little bit though, like I guess for me, understanding how big the phenomenon is I guess sort of piggybacking on to what Amy Jo is saying. It's like I still struggle sometimes to realize what the effect the show has had on so many people. But the fact that we're sitting in Scotland right now is kind of it's bizarre because it's such a worldwide global thing. And I'll go to Brazil, and the Brazilians love Power Rangers, and they're just crazy in a good way. And it's just, you know, sometimes we have to step back and just go, wow, this is really an amazing experience for us because you guys are so kind and so generous, so loving. We get so much love that it's overwhelming in a good way.
It's almost like this weird, I don't know if this makes any sense, but sometimes it feels like free karma, like positive karma or something, because it was not my intention when I went to audition for that role and getting that role and doing the show to have an impact on so many kids and have that influence so much. Like, just the stories that you hear of how we were friends to people when they were younger because parents were divorced or they were bullied at school or whatever it was they were going through, and we were their buddies and their pals, is like this really cool blessing that we had kind of no idea was happening at the time.
Right, and I mean, it's super humbling, as Amy Jo was saying, for us to understand, like, you know, the show meant so much to people, and you guys, some people became martial artists or gymnasts or dancers because of Power Rangers. Obviously, like Amy Jo was saying, a lot of people didn't feel like they had friends, so they could look to us and they felt like they had friends. So it's an awesome, humbling thing. So thank you all. We appreciate you very much.
It's
Round of applause for the fans. You guys, and I'll tell you what.
Honestly,
Aberdeen,
it's really
you'll meet some of the nicest people here, but there's so many memories from the show, and it's a very empowering show as well. But I have to ask, what is it like to be reunited with the cast at Comic-Con? So there's 2 of you here, but I know we've met, like, Reggie and a few of the other ones have come here before. What's it like to reunite with the rest of the cast?
We don't know who Reggie is.
No?
Reggie's not our cast.
He's
I know the original cast, and then I
Yes.
know the second slew of people like Karen and Johnny Young Bosch, who's gone on to do some really cool stuff with his voiceovers, and then you do a lot of cons with Walter, and then our dear friend Jason, who just passed away, that rocked our worlds. He was like family. That's the thing about doing a show, I think, is the friendships that you get. Like, David, you're like family to me, like one of my closest friends that I have, and that's been almost 35 years now.
It's pretty crazy, yeah. I don't have a lot of friends that I've known that long that I keep in touch with the way that we keep in touch. So so that's cool. And I mean, I think the fact that Comic-Cons exist help us stay together. Even, I'm saying, like with Walter and Austin and Jason David Frank before he passed, like that was a way for us to stay connected, because I think a lot of TV shows you just move on and you don't really ever talk to those people again, but because of Comic-Cons it helps us. I don't know, we're just
Unless
always
you put
together.
like the effort into it.
Yeah.
Like we go on vacations and stuff.
Yes. And she, yells at me.
What?
She yells at me.
Don't say things.
Why not?
I have things to say too.
Okay, easy,
Okay.
Tiger.
Oh, we've struck a nerve here. No, it's great to see you guys. It's very
he just
special
knows
that
way
you're both
too much.
together here. But I have to ask, what are you guys currently watching? I mean, there's so many things nowadays. We've got Netflix, streaming, things like that. What are you currently watching film and TV wise? What are you appreciating right now?
I've been watching a lot of thrillers because I've written a thriller. So in the last 10 years, I've transitioned from writing and directing from acting into writing and directing, and that's my passion, and that's all I want to do is make films. And so I wrote a thriller called What We Become, and I've been watching a lot of thrillers. And this movie I'm going to name isn't actually a thriller, but it's one of the most beautiful movies, I think, out this year. And it's called All of Us Strangers. Have you guys seen it? It's with Andrew Scott.
Oh, he's phenomenal. Yeah.
You guys, this movie is shot so beautifully. It's one of the best. Have you seen it?
Is it on Netflix?
No, it was in the theaters. Yeah. Oh, it's gorgeous. Anyway. You can answer now, too. I just wanted to tell you guys I'm writing and directing now. I just wanted to bring that up because I really love it, and I'm very passionate about it, and I like it more than acting.
Yeah. Did you think you were going to go in, like, behind the camera? Or was it something that you wanted to do forever, or was it something that surprised you?
It's something that I wanted to do for a long time in my 20s, was write and direct, but I never gave myself permission or thought that I could. And I think for myself, it was being a woman. I just thought, men direct. I don't know what I was thinking, but I got very unhappy in my 30s, and I couldn't figure out why. And it was in my early 40s that I finally got behind the camera and I shot my first short, and I realized, oh my God, this is what I've always wanted to do. Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah. So if you want to write and direct and you're a woman, you can, and go for it, please.
Love
Please.
that.
I watch. You probably don't have these shows in the UK, but I'm really stuck on reality TV right now for whatever reason. So
Me too, a little
there's
bit.
a show, not quite, but there's a show called Below Deck, which is about all
Yes.
these people that work on yachts.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm marathon. I just watched every season possible. So I've been watching a lot of that. But I also do watch a show in the United States. I don't know if you have it here too. It's called Ancient Aliens. And it's all about aliens and sightings around the world and all these crazy things. And did you know that Scotland is, per capita, the highest place where there are sightings of UFOs?
Can I have
Did you know that?
show of hands for how many people
has
have
anybody
seen
seen
an
a
alien?
UFO? A UFO in Scotland?
Oh, really?
Don't be shy. It's not a
Yeah,
bad
don't
thing.
be shy. Have you seen a UFO?
I have. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm so addicted to it. And right before I came to Scotland, last Friday night, I was just turned on Ancient Aliens, and it was a whole episode about Scotland and how there's all these alien sightings in Scotland. And I was like, oh my God, I am in heaven. I'm so excited now that I'm going to Scotland.
Let's go
Yeah.
UFO hunting tonight.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I just want you to know that. So if you see something flying around in the sky, you're not the only one. But
Yeah.
somebody was telling me, the Scots, they like to drink. And so, they might often stumble out of a pub and, oh my God, what is that? And it's just a street light. But I don't know. But anyways, I'm addicted to Ancient Aliens, and those are what I watch. And I don't know.
This is why I love asking that question, because I don't know how we got onto aliens. But now you guys are going to have to come to David's table and tell him your UFO tales, please.
Please.
Yeah. Let's get wild. Well, you guys, I could sit up here and fangirl all day long, but it is time to go to the fans. If you have a question, please direct your attention to Aaron. Say hi to Aaron, everybody. Hi, Aaron. I say it very American. Adam. He's Adam. He's from Aberdeen, actually. Round of applause for Aaron. Came all the way from Aberdeen. God bless.
The microphone doesn't work, I don't think.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Hi.
Sorry. I just want to say y'all are my favorite. I'm American, obviously.
Obviously.
He said y'all. I love it.
Growing up in the 90s, my two favorite TV shows were Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Saved by the Bell. And I always found similarities between the characters, and I've always wanted to ask y'all, if your characters from Power Rangers were characters from Saved by the Bell, who would they be?
I didn't watch the show enough.
Oh,
I mean, it's pretty obvious. I think I'd be Screech.
I think honestly
say that.
you'd be Jessie because she was
Yeah.
book smart. And she
Oh,
was,
I didn't
and
think about that. Okay.
And I think Kimberly would be Kelly, of course.
Obviously, yeah.
I don't know who that is. Was that
Kelly
Tiffany?
Kapowski.
Tiffany Amber.
Oh,
Thiessen,
I
yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
So I'm Elizabeth Berkley.
Yes, you are.
I'll take it.
That's a fun question.
While we find somebody else, I do have a really quick question to ask David. David, will you read Mighty Morphin Power Rangers The Return on my IG Live with me, please? Pretty please with sugar on top.
I'll think about it.
No, come on!
I have a job to do. Amy.
Don't, please.
I'll think about it.
He's really giving me a hard time about. Did you guys see the last IG Live we did when we read the comic book? He was great. He brought props and everything.
We'll think about it. We'll talk. We'll talk.
He's thinking about it.
All right, I'll do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, now you guys are going to be on her Instagram today.
You're gonna be on my Twitter.
Bravo.
Sorry.
Sorry. Back to you guys.
Hi, Christy from I live up in Orkney, and it's about that ancient alien things. Bad news, we're pretty sure all the Neolithic architecture was done by people, not aliens.
No, I don't believe so. It's aliens. It was 4,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago. There's no way we could have constructed some of the stuff that's been constructed. The Egyptians were aliens too. Come on.
Don't
Think
you
about
watch
it.
that show?
I have a question for Amy Jo. It's just in regards to MMPR The Return. So obviously I've read the 2 issues. It's fantastic. I just want to know what made you decide to go down that direction of envisioning the Power Rangers as they are in this world that you've created, because I love it, and listening to the Instagram Live the other week, it's fantastic. So what made you decide to go down that way?
It was during COVID, actually, that me and Matt sort of came up with the idea. But right before that idea, I wanted to write a TV show about Olivia Hart, the Pink Ranger, but I knew that that was going to be almost an impossible feat to get there, because going through a giant franchise and Hasbro and all that, it's really hard. So then Matt suggested, what about a comic book? And so the world was shut down, so we just sort of imagined this story, and knowing the 30th anniversary was coming up, so really imagining it as if where would we be now? So incorporating the Olivia Hart aspect with our characters now, and then we just had fun sort of dreaming up a love letter to all of you guys, and trying to figure out the balance of tone from kids that are now adults, and how to make it a little bit more adult, but yet keeping the playful fun in it as well at the same time. And so it's been a super awesome response, and I'm glad you're liking it. And there's 2 more issues left, and we're super excited. I know issue 3 comes out April 10th. Yeah. Thanks for asking.
Thank you, guys. You look great, by the way. We've got a question here on
You
the
do.
left.
With the Power Rangers reboot coming up from Netflix, if either of you were offered a role in it, would you consider taking it? A bit of continuation between the old guard and, the reboot?
Who's talking? Oh, you right here.
Hello.
I'm like, there you are. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm always open to it. I don't know what the reimagination is. I don't know if they're just really trying to break from the past and just reimagine it completely new. So I don't know. But, Jonathan Entwistle, who's in charge of the franchise, so to speak, I mean, he dropped a hint at one point about kind of referring to Jason David Frank. It's unfortunate that he's not here anymore, because, this is going to be a lot about Tommy. So that's the only thing I've seen I don't know what that means at the end of the day. So, but I would be open to it. So we'll find out.
I haven't seen anything, actually. Except for I've gone and watched Jonathan's work just to understand what the tone of it would be, and it looks like it could become like something pretty cool. If it was a TV show, I would really want to ask Jonathan if I could direct an episode. In return, I would totally do a cameo. I don't know. I think there's still so much to play with and explore within the storylines in the franchise, and I think utilizing an aspect of the original Power Rangers would be wise. So I'm curious to see how it all plays out.
Thank you. Great question. We've got a question all the way up here on the right.
Hi. So, weird question, but I just turned 20, so I didn't grow up on the original Mighty Morphin series. I grew up on Power Rangers Samurai and then came back to you guys. And I know, David, you were on the recent Cosmic Fury series, so I was just wondering, do you guys have a favorite series other than Mighty Morphin that you either watched or you think your characters would want to be a part of or anything like that?
I mean, honestly, I haven't watched any of the other seasons, so to speak. I know a lot of the actors. We get to meet them here and there. They're all very nice. And so I find out about the other seasons through them. But no, I haven't really ever thought anything other than really MMPR was really the best for me, whatever. But I did Zeo, I did Alien Rangers, I have Cosmic Fury now. So, but, you know, still for me, MMPR was by far the most fun.
For me, I also haven't really explored any of the other series. I did like that movie a couple years ago, and I would have loved to have played Rita. That would have been really fun. But that didn't happen. That's okay. Other than that, I haven't really watched any of the other... Actually, I hardly even watched the original until we went to write the comic book, and then me and Matt sat down and watched like the whole first couple seasons to figure out the jumping off point of where the Return universe sort of begins. And that was really fun. And it was really cool to see how... I thought Chui was such a good actress.
When you watch it, yes. She really is.
When you watch it. Sometimes that's the weirdest thing about being an actor. In the moment, sometimes when you're working with people, sometimes you can't tell how the camera is capturing a person until you watch it back. And Chui, not that we're saying that she was bad.
No. No.
Not by any means. But it was like, you can't tell how good somebody is until like you see how the camera captures them. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes. Even like with Austin, I never really understood, like he really set the tone of how to say, it's morphin' time.
He did. He used to go over and punch the wall. Morphin' time!
It's morphin' time!
We'd be like, what is he doing?
We'd be like, what is he doing? But then, like, when you watch
my
it,
back's to you.
When you watch it, now it's like, oh wow! Like as older people,
Is
when
that
I go back
method
and watch
acting?
it,
What is that?
Like I'm like, wow, he really set how you have to say it's morphin' time. Yeah. So
morphin' time.
And he was the youngest.
I didn't do it like that.
He was
though,
the
did
youngest.
I? Can you imagine if I did?
He was the youngest
Yeah, I
of it. He was the youngest of us at the time, which I always thought was interesting too. He was only like 18, and so.
Was he was younger than JDF?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
They're a few months apart.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought Jason was the youngest.
No.
We love that. We've got another question all the way up there on the right.
So, so you haven't been to Scotland for that long, but what's your favourite part of Scotland just now?
I really enjoyed our walk to that castle on the water yesterday.
It was nice. Yeah.
What was your favorite part?
Well, I'm gonna get in trouble. Don't get mad at me, but I love Glasgow.
I haven't been there.
It's so beautiful. I love Glasgow so much. Not that I don't like Aberdeen, but I came to Glasgow, I don't know how many years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and absolutely fell in love with Scotland from being there. And then so
I
that's
wanna go to Glasgow.
It's fun. But Aberdeen, again, yesterday I think we got really lucky because the weather was quite spectacular yesterday. I mean, back in the States, I looked at the forecast beforehand and it said it was going to rain the entire time. So I brought my umbrella. I was prepared.
You wouldn't have been able to use it with that wind.
Oh, God, the wind was so bad yesterday. But, yeah, walking to that castle was pretty magical. Just being in that castle was pretty magical.
I just love the history over here on the other side of the world. Is there's something, I don't know, I just wonder if it makes a person like, guys, what am I talking about right now? But honestly, I look at these old buildings and it kind of makes my mind go, whoa, like all these, who lived here? But if you live with that and you grew up with that every single day, I don't know if do you ponder that as much as like when you come to visit it? You do, yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
She's nodding. And Glasgow got a cheer. Yay for that. Have you been to Edinburgh before?
I haven't.
We've got to get you on Scotland Comic Con in Edinburgh. We've got another question up here on the right.
Yeah, so last year I met Amy Jo.
Oh, hello again.
Hello. Yeah, so David, if you were in Power Rangers Wild Force, what would your animal be?
You're putting me on the spot again. I didn't watch Wild Force, so I don't know the animals. What's your favorite animal?
A wolf.
That's what I'd be then.
That would be my favorite too.
Well, I was the wolf. I was already the wolf, so I'll be the wolf again.
Oh, I like a wolf. Oh no, I picked a cougar. Oh yeah, that made me really hot and sweaty. I remember. You were there too.
Yours,
oh,
Mom.
okay. They asked me the same question, and I said, a cougar? And then Matt's sitting right there. My boyfriend's like 14 years younger than me.
There you go. It's perfect.
Worked out perfect for you.
Oh, viral Facebook video. Any more questions? We've got time for just maybe one or two more. Don't be shy. We've got one over here. Right near Wally and Waldo.
Who had their hand up? Yeah. Oh, geez.
Aaron's getting his steps in today.
Yeah.
We'll go with this guy first. He's been here first.
Okay.
Hi. So you said you had your particular moment, but was there any particular like fan moment that made you go, "Wow, this is mental, this Power Rangers thing"?
Yeah, for me, there are children here, but that's okay. Pot's legal now. I actually smoked a little bit of pot with the grips, and then I got in my Zord, and I looked out at the crew, and I was just like, what am I doing? What is happening right now? And I was wearing my Pink Ranger costume and everything, and all I could see was the other grips just looking up at me, and I'm like, pterodactyl. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know what the words were. You didn't smoke pot.
No.
I don't really smoke pot, and I don't even smoke pot now, but I just wanted to hang out with the grips, and I did that. I shouldn't have done that while I was working.
I was going to say, I can't even imagine doing that when you're trying to work.
And then having a reality check.
Oh my gosh.
In the Zord.
I'm so disappointed now. I don't even know what to think.
Are you?
A little bit, yeah. I didn't know that I
didn't do it all the time. This was literally once because it was very, very hard to work.
Okay.
Once I did that, it was so strange.
Street cred, why not?
I don't know that I had the only mental, as you guys say, moment for me was what Amy Jo was saying a lot earlier, when we were at Universal Studios and we shut down in Los Angeles the freeway, what you guys call a motorway, in 8 miles in each direction, that it was just at a standstill. That's like pretty crazy and unheard of, because everybody's trying to get off the highway to get to Universal. So that for me was like a moment like I just never forget, because there's never been another television series, movie, anything that's ever done that. So
can I ask you, was that right when in the September that the show aired, or was that when was that?
It was more like, I have the actual ticket. I feel like it was October.
But in that same year,
It was
like
in the
it
same
aired
year.
in September, and then it was like October we did those shows, or was it the following year?
I think it was leading up to Christmas, the first
So it was
year.
in the first year,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure. I'm
Yeah.
not 100% though.
Yeah, because nobody, I think even like Shuki, one of the producers,
Nobody
was in
was
the bus
prepared
with
for
us,
that.
and I think he was.
Nobody was prepared for that
We were
day.
all like, "What?"
Yeah,
I
nobody.
literally had nightmares. I went home and dreamt that nuclear war was happening.
Must have been marijuana. Anyway,
No, it was
Was it related?
overwhelming. I was really overwhelmed.
it was an overwhelming day.
We got a question up here on the right.
We skipped our friend.
Oh,
I feel so bad.
we'll come back to
Okay.
who we got.
I was sitting in the corner. I do apologise.
No.
So, obviously, you guys are my heroes. I was young enough to be in MMPR when it first started, so it was amazing. But my question for you guys is, what did it feel like the first time you saw a toy of yourself? And did you start collecting them?
My mother did. My mom and dad, there's a trunk at my brother's house now that has like all the original toys and stuff. It was kind of surreal. I don't think they ever quite looked at like us until like the Lightning ones that are recent, right? So back in the day, it was kind of like, what is that weird toy that kind of doesn't really look like us? But it was fun. It was almost like we had a Barbie doll.
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool too because that first year, you should thank your parents a lot because your parents were out fighting each other, literally, trying to get the toys for Christmas, like knocking each other out. So, that's another moment where we're like, oh my gosh, what's happening
We were
here?
doing a tour across the country in different malls.
Well, that was for the movie.
Oh, never mind.
But yeah, so it's pretty cool. I think it's, as time has gone on over the years, like, because MMPR is sort of the bread and butter of the Power Ranger franchise, just the amount of toys that continue to come out based on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is pretty amazing. And so, like Amy Jo was saying, the Lightning collections, there's been so many cool. There was something called the Loyal Subjects. They were like those were really awesome. There's just so many awesome toys.
Have you guys done the one where you can like make your head the Power Ranger? Did you do it?
I haven't done it, no.
I did it.
Did you really?
I did it, and I didn't order it because I looked like a little old, I don't know, like a little old Russian lady or something. I was like, boy, have I aged. You got to try it.
So
Matt did it for Spider-Man,
So
my
you
boyfriend.
take a picture of your face and you mail it in and they make a mold of it?
No, it's like an app, and they literally you scan your whole head and face, and then they send you a ranger with your head on it. You
That's
got
cool.
it. We should do it.
Sure.
I need a better day. I'll have Francesca do it, my daughter.
David, go.
Thank
Have
you
you
for
guys
your
done
question.
that? Has anybody done a toy with your head on there? You know those? Were they here?
Maybe they're not here yet.
Oh.
They'll be coming. You'll be able to do it.
They were for Christmas last year.
Oh, I don't even remember hearing about that. Okay.
Time for one final question, and who's got the microphone?
Yes.
There we go. Hiya.
Hi guys. Wow. My question is, what's the most rewarding day that you've ever had on set? Now it doesn't have to be Power Rangers, just anything.
Rewarding day.
Yeah.
I have mine. I was doing a very small part in a movie with Jimmy Marsden and Gary Oldman, and it's called Interstate 60, and that was the highlight of my career in a lot of different ways for the reason of working with Gary Oldman, who was a legend, and he was in the back of the car, and the director came over and gave me some direction and walked away, and then Gary Oldman leaned forward and he told me not to forget my instincts. And that just was like, I will never forget that moment. That was like a huge highlight for me. Don't forget your instincts.
Great advice. What an amazing actor. One of my favorites. Yeah.
He's so good, yeah.
So good.
I mean, I have probably a lot, but I will say just the first thing that came to my head was that I got to go help Amy Jo on one of her films that she was directing. And I have so many pictures of her that she doesn't even know that I probably have. But it was just fun to watch her direct because I could see how much passion and how much love she had for doing it. And it was just like the most amazing experience for me. Like I would sit over in the corner and cry because I could see how much how much love she had. And so I was just honored to get to be there to help her out. So it was a really cool experience.
And it was pretty awesome that you came over.
And hauled trash around, as you say. I emptied the trash cans. So.
He did. He came over. He whipped that set into shape. I was very nervous to shoot. It was my first feature, and I called David like 2 weeks before, and I'm like, I think I need you. He's like, I'm coming. And he flew out there, and he came, and
it was fun.
Yeah, I just felt so comfortable just having him there because he was producing a lot of stuff and he knew how a set worked, and so you were very helpful. Thank you, David.
It's a beautiful memory to leave this panel on. You guys have been so amazing, and thank you for making memories with us here in Aberdeen. Any final words for your lovely fans here before we let you get back to the autograph area?
My final words are I appreciate you guys so much. That's all I have to say. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, we certainly don't take it lightly because obviously without you guys, we would not be the people that we are. So we're very blessed, we're very honored, and we're very humbled, and it's always such a pleasure to get to meet you guys and hear the stories about how Power Rangers has influenced your life. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. So thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep that applause going. Thank you so much.